Good afternoon. This is Rich Nelson with Allendale covering the wrap-up commodity comments. Today is Wednesday, September 28th of 2011. Obviously a big day across the board yet again for the grains. And bottom line here for all these markets, yes, we do have outside market issues here certainly affecting us. Concerns about the EU debt situation and other factors here which are certainly taking hold over the grain markets here. U.S. dollar closing up 38 cents here today. So those are certainly pressuring the grains. So the bottom line for all these grain markets is we certainly don't have the incentive yet to start any type of buying. People feel that certainly value-wise, corn and soybeans are probably below value right now, but bottom line, we don't have the incentive yet to start trading from alongside. No one's taking that action. We're still in the middle of this liquidation phase going into the end of the month. And certainly in front of Friday's reports, the grain stocks reports and the small grain summary, it's easy to see why. In front of these two reports, which at least for the grain stocks have been highly erratic in the past 5 quarters, no doubt about why nobody's want to stand in front of this type of big question mark here. So in terms of actual news here for today, estimates for grain stocks reports did come out by Dow Jones as well as Reuters. We will point out that they are actually lower, or they actually had higher grain stocks for corn than the previous Bloomberg survey release did. So USDA's last estimate for old crop ending stocks was 920. Bloomberg said maybe about 940 or so. We see that Dow Jones, in fact, their survey of analysts, which includes Allendale, looks for a move up to 962. So we could have an extra 42 million bushels starting out as beginning stocks pushed into this year. So that's certainly a bearish factor here. Other news here for today, ethanol. Weekly ethanol production, 841,000 barrels per day. That's the lowest weekly production level in exactly a year. So sounds pretty bad, but we got to keep in mind, guys, as far as these ethanol numbers, we should compare these against last year at this time. We are always dropping ethanol production in the month of September, simply because the processors are using downtime, waiting for the new crop and other issues. The simple fact about ethanol, we're actually running 2% higher than last year at this time. And keep in mind, USDA still thinks that ethanol production will actually be down. So the ethanol number by itself looks pretty bad. But bottom line is certainly not anything to be concerned about as far as this issue. The biggest issue, of course, is, like I said, the general liquidation, the general malaise. And, in fact, we're not going to see any type of major rally in front of Friday's reports anyway. So let's also keep that in mind here, too. Third factor we're looking at here is as far as waiting for buyers. Well, we actually are getting some of these buyers to show up. South Korea has picked up over 660,000 tons of corn in the past 9 days. We are getting some of these foreign buyers to step in and say corn is now of value, but certainly we're still waiting on the U.S. market to take hold here. As far as soybeans, down 41 cents. As far as estimates for grain stocks reports, 225 million bushels was USDA's last estimate, and that's what Dow Jones actually said for their survey of analysts. So it shouldn't be a major mover here for soybeans. We will point out there is some concern about Brazil's soybean planting right now, but at this point it's still too early to be a major concern here. As far as wheat, we will point out the small grain summary report, which revises wheat production. Dow Jones had a smaller number than we thought they would show. USDA's last estimate of production was 2.077 billion bushels. The average trade guess is only about a 31 million bushel decline to 2.046. As far as livestock here, certainly kind of a mixed action to report out here. Over on cattle, we did see mixed trading on the wholesale beef report. Feedlots are still asking for a full $3 higher than last week. Might be kind of tough to do given the kind of recent action in economic considerations as far as the economy, and also the fact that wholesale beef this week is not rallying here. So that's also a question. We wonder if they'll get this price here this week. Over on the hogs, we've got a hogs and pigs report out in just a few minutes. Market's certainly excited about this one here. We don't expect to see any major changes to speak of. You know, most of these reports these past few days, or the past few years, the trade's generally gotten them right. We don't expect to see major changes here. Market may show numbers about equal with last year at this time as far as the total supply, and future production levels might be a little bit under last year, but considering efficiency, you'll see actual production probably about equal with 2011 during 2012. So production is certainly not the major mover of prices right now, certainly exports and other factors. So quite a big day here, and you know what, honestly expecting tomorrow's type of trade in front of Friday's report, we look for yet another day of kind of big malaise, big concerns here to speak of here as far as the grains. So until Friday's report, we should not expect much of a big bull run or a market bottom in front of these reports here. If you have any questions, give us a call back here at Allendale, 1-800-262-7538. Thank you.